Hey, what's up, guys? Do apologize. I am driving again, as usual, whenever I have these little sit-and chats with you. It is like unusually busy. It was a freaking Monday night, man. It's slammed out here. What is going on? But, and I'm also very sick as well, so I do apologize if you either can't understand me or can't hear me or whatever. But this was just a thought that I had, and I've been thinking about it like a good chunk of the afternoon. So, I mean, it's not like this video is not totally formed or prefabricated. It's just kind of off the top of my head, so I apologize. But I thought I'd talk to you guys about keeping balance with your hobby. And by what I mean with that is finding balance in between your hobby and your real life. And, you know, most people are like, well, that's easy, you know, whatever. But there are a lot of people that become severely, in a really odd kind of way, addicted to this game. I am one of those people. I pretty much live, breathe, you know, do, sleep, whatever, Warhammer. I am literally, you know, consistently checking my Instagram, replying to people, checking my YouTube, replying to people. If I'm not doing that, I'm on Facebook reading forum posts and FAQs and all different kinds of stuff. I did have a DACA account that I was on quite frequently this last year. I don't use it as much because they need to update their website and make it a little bit more user friendly. It's just kind of cluttered, personally. And if you guys have a suggestion on what forum you guys use for 40K, I would really appreciate it if you have something better. Don't get me wrong, DAC is not bad by any means, but whatever. So anyways, as far as balancing, you know, whether it be AOS, 40K, or whatever, finding some balance in your life with it, because sometimes you can kind of go overboard and you can spend too much money or spend too much time, or, you know, you're just investing too much into that one thing. And if you're doing that too much, then you're going to tip yourself off balance in one way or another. Like, the easy one here is, and then I'll talk about the more difficult one here in a second, is money. I personally try and set myself a budget for Warhammer every year. Have I broken that budget this year? Yes. Am I trying to keep myself collected and make sure that I don't buy anything else that I don't need at this current moment? Yeah. But as far as how much I spend on it every year, I'm probably, if this next year comes around, I'll probably limit myself to, depending on if I get a new job or not, probably like $100 a quarter. So, I mean, that seems like a lot of money in the long run, but it's only like a couple, you know, it's only like 10 or 20 bucks or whatever a paycheck. So, you know, if you think about it that way, it's really not that much. And in reality, you really don't come out with that much, you know, unless you're like buying on eBay or something like that. You know, there are some things that I would like to complete. Some of my armies I would like to expand a little bit more, and kind of mess with how they operate and stuff. But I have plenty of time. I'm also very young, so come on, guy. You just kind of have to be careful, especially with money, because 40K can get very expensive very quickly. So, yeah. Sorry, there's a buttload of traffic out here right now. So, anyways, so with that, you know, set yourself a budget, or set yourself up, you know, this is how much, or like set yourself a goal. So, like set yourself either like a budget like I do, every quarter, every month, every year, you can only spend X amount of dollars. Now, you can do that. You can set yourself a goal. You're going to say, hey, these are the models that I'm going to buy this year, and you stick to that. You don't go off and buy 3 other things and then say, whoops, I still need to buy those models, because then you're deviating from the path. You can do that, or with money. And then also, like, if you're married, you kind of also have to kind of bring that balance into perspective with your bills, your wife, your kids, all that kind of stuff. So if you and your wife have like a fun money type of someone hit a dog, dang it. If you have a fun money type of spending account or whatever, don't always like say, hey, I need this model, hey, I need this model, hey, I need this model. You need to break it up evenly in between each other. Now, obviously, I'm not telling you how to run your marriage, but I'm just saying I can guarantee things will be a lot happier around your house if things are well balanced. Another thing you can also do is you can keep your wife happier with you. In case you do go over your budget, is make sure that you're tidying up on things around the house, have dinner prepared, kind of go above and beyond, because if you take those extra steps, I think it becomes easier for your wife, girlfriend, fiance, whatever, to forgive you in the long run. So that's kind of one way you can step up and look for ways to fix that. Now, as far as the more difficult part to talk about is dividing up your time. If you are a single guy and you live by yourself or whatever, then you're going to pretty much have as much free time to spend on 40K as you want. But if you're a family man, you have a girlfriend or something like that, you're obviously going to have to divide your time in between, your hobby or, your passion, whatever that is, and your significant other or your family. So that's something not to deviate too much time into. Because I noticed there for like a couple of weeks, I had just been getting real heavy. Like my brain started ticking again, and I started picking up extra projects and more models, and working on my YouTube videos a lot more. And I kind of grew distant away from my fiance. Like, we weren't talking all the time like we normally do. And I kind of came to that realization. So I really made a point to myself to really set my phone down, put it off to the side, turn it off or whatever, whenever I'm around her, so that I'm not ignoring her, trying to accumulate views from people that honestly I'll never really meet. It's kind of that thing between getting your head out of video games and actually spending time with your friends, so you have friends outside of the ones on Xbox Live or whatever, So most definitely, and then that, and then time with your kids, I think that's one thing that's kind of been put off in today's society, is we're so self-absorbed that we're not focused on the people around us, our kids and things like that. And that's why kids act out typically, in my personal opinion. This is whenever they don't get enough attention. So then they act out, or they do things that are, dumb or whatever. And sometimes, kids are just stupid. They just do stupid stuff. I mean, we've all been there. But, typically it's an act of, hey, I'm here, pay attention to me, I'm going to do something bad, and then it's done, So, encouraging your kids to play 40K, and I actually have a video for that. I'll put a link up for it in the video description. You guys will watch that should your kids play 40K. most definitely they should. But yeah, I mean, get your kids into 40K so that can kind of be a way that you can do your hobby and spend time with them. Have them help you put together models. I mean, if your kid's articulate enough and smart enough, reward them with, hey, I'll give you $5 if you'll help me put together 3 guys or something like that, and make it kind of like an incentive thing. And I mean, that's $5, and then that's time you didn't have to take to put together those 3 guys when you could be working on something else. Or whatever. But, most definitely kind of set a boundary for yourself. Hey, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes tonight, or an hour, or 2 hours tonight. Obviously depending on, like, what your family's needs are. If Susie Q's got a ballet recital and Billy has baseball, and Billy gets out of baseball, an hour before Susie's recital's over, but you're not going to make it on time for it to even really be worth it, then go home and, take that hour for yourself or whatever, because your son's going to be tired or whatnot from his game. So kind of like, work the system, work the schedule to kind of work for you a little bit, but also make sure that you're paying attention to everybody else and everything else in your life, so you're not being too distracted. If that makes sense. That was kind of like the whole point that I was trying to get to. Don't make the hobby such a big deal that you forget about everything else. And I think, obviously, that tends to happen with younger guys because their sense of responsibility might not be there quite yet, or maybe like their sense of basically just like their sense of responsibility isn't there yet. So they're making younger man mistakes. Obviously, a family man shouldn't make this mistake, in my personal opinion. But like I said, I'm not telling you guys how to run your families. And then another thing I noticed, and I did this one time, regretfully. If your girlfriend is not legitimately interested in 40K, do not drag her to your shop to make her sit there for 3 hours staring aimlessly at her phone or off at the wall or whatever so that you can play 40K. I did this one time, and the guilt on the inside was too real. Like, obviously you deal with stuff that she does, like go shopping with her or something, but eventually you guys will go sit down and get ice cream or coffee or whatever, and you guys legitimately spend time together. But whenever you're sitting there playing the game, unless you're really like a great multitasker and can bounce back and forth in between talking to her and paying attention to your opponent's turn and stuff, don't drag her up there. That sucks. It's no fun. I watched another guy do it like 3 months ago, and she just looked miserable. I mean, unless she's like into it, helping you with the codex, like legitimately invested in it, don't do that. In my personal opinion, I think it's just rude. So, anyways, there's my overblown ego and all my opinions. I definitely think that, like I said, you need to find balance between money in 40K and your personal life and 40K. You kind of just have to set limits by saying, this is how much I'm going to spend every month or every year or whatever, and that's your limit, and you really stick to it. And this is how much time I'm going to spend every night modeling, or once a week, or once a month, or once a year. Sometimes some guys are out of the hobby for months and months and months because life's just on them sometimes. So you got to do what you got to do. Anyways, guys, I'm at work this evening, so y'all have a good one. Take it easy. Stay out of trouble, all the good stuff. Of course. See you guys later.